Hi everybody and welcome back to some more Project Cars 2 here on this channel. I'm KPG-GOONER here and welcome back to another race and setup video. Now the setup I'm doing today is on the Ferrari 488 GT3. Now loads of you requested a GT3 setup and this one I thought would be perfect. Now this is one of the cars I didn't think was great on its default setup, so I have made some adjustments and I'm going to share them with you today, guys. Now this setup works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for you, but please give me some feedback in the comments. Also guys, there is another way to keep up to date with everything on the channel. Join my Facebook group, follow me on Instagram and all the other social links linked to the channel. All the links are in the description. It's a good way to keep up to date with all the events that I also host on the channel as well. Right, let's get into this racing setup. Right guys, so here we go with the race. In this racing setup video, it's going to be 8 laps around Silverstone International. I will do some review clips of the race and then I will share the setup. So let's see if we can get an awesome start here. And it's all go. Can we get off the mark really quick and overtake these two cars? And we should get past that Bentley. Yes we do, that's not bad. God, had to put the brakes on there, and a Nissan managed to get around the side of us. God, had to avoid a few cars on that first corner. Now the first couple of laps in the GT3 races can be a bit hectic. We're going to have to be careful. Oh my God, that Nissan slammed his brakes on there. A little bit of contact, but we managed to get around the outside of him, and we managed to get up to P4. So overall, that wasn't a bad start. Right, let's try and settle into the race. Now, I do find in the GT3 cars, you've really got to get your tyres and brakes up to temperature before you start pushing. I find that you also can't brake very well into the turns in these cars as well. They really do struggle on that, so you've got to be careful. You have to try and hit your braking spots, and sometimes you've really got to back off through the turn before you can put your foot down gradually when you find the grip. But I tell you what guys, once you get this car up to temperature, it does handle pretty well. Also, really fast movements on the steering isn't great in this car as well, and I'm trying to give you my most honest opinion, and that wasn't a bad overtake there. So we've managed to take another place and up to P3, so we had a really good start in this 8-lap race around Silverstone International. Now I do like Silverstone. I've actually been around here on a track day, not this circuit. I think it was the national circuit that I did my track day on, but it is an awesome circuit and it is one that I wanted to race around today. Right, let's see if we can just improve here. It's not too bad. Let's get in behind the Renault, and I can't see who's leading the race. I think it is a BMW Z4 and they are awesome, and I have got a setup for that car if you want to see it. Right, let's see if we can just get a bit of slipstream here. Again, you've got to make sure you slow down, get the car turned in, don't brake on the turn because this car just won't turn at all. But I did find this car very hard in the slow corners before I started setting it up, and we've managed to dive down the inside there and we've taken another position, so we're up to P2. We're having a good race so far. Let's see if we can start pushing and get closer to the BMW. Now, yeah, like I said, guys, it took me a while to get the grips of this car, but once I got it dialed in, now the circuit that I found that I was hitting some amazing times in this car was Barcelona, Catalonia. This car seems to be very good around there. But I didn't want to do that for the racing setup because I think you've already seen me in an online race in this car around there, and I wanted to do something different and just throw myself out of my comfort zone on a circuit I haven't raced in a while, and just to show that this car can and this setup works on more than one circuit. Right, let's see if we can catch up. That Z4 has got some pace. I'm going to have to start improving. Right, again, got to be careful. And this car does have moments now and again. I mean, it's not, like I said, this setup isn't totally complete. It probably needs a few tweaks here and there, but I've used it a few times. I've raced with this online and I've had some decent results, so hopefully it does work for you. But if I do improve it again, guys, or make any more adjustments to it, I will share it with you. That's why I think it's important to join my Facebook group, where I share a lot of info on there, guys. You can share your own pictures, videos, tips, tricks, anything, guys. It's a way to communicate easier than just in the videos in the comments. Right, let's see if we can just improve on this lap, and I've got to try and just improve in some of these turns. It's not too bad through there, and we're almost halfway through the race, and we need to close that gap. I'm sure we can. We've got our tyres and brakes up to temperature now, so we should be able to take a little bit more pace through the corners. Right, slow it down, get it nicely turned in. Oh God, we just left our braking a little bit late there, and we just sort of went out a little bit wide than we would have liked. Right, slow it down. Again, the brakes on this Ferrari are pretty decent, and nicely through there. And like I said, guys, keep your... Oh God, just look, just put my foot down a little bit too soon there. Just that's what I like about this car. It really lets you know when you make a mistake on your braking, on when you accelerate, but it's not to the point where you're going to lose control of the car. It is quite a good car that you can save even when you have a moment, and that's why I like it. It really does give you some good feedback on the wheel as well. Now, when I originally raced this in that online race a while back, I was using the Thrustmaster T300 RS. This time I'm using the Logitech G29, and I'll tell you what, both wheels seem pretty good on Project Cars 2. Now, we've had several updates, but I will be using another wheel very, very soon. I'm going to be purchasing another wheel, and I'm not going to let you know what it is yet, because I will do an unboxing, but I want to get another wheel, so I've got a different range completely. I've got loads of variety, because loads of people have different wheels. Oh God, be careful. That corner seems a bit of a problem for me. I keep on accelerating a little bit too early. Right, so we're going into lap 6. Let's see if we can push a little bit harder on this lap now. Need to start catching up. Oh, we took a little bit more speed through there. Oh God, and that's not too bad. And what I've done is I have adjusted the suspension slightly. I found it did. Oh God, be careful. See what I mean? See what I mean? When you accelerate a little bit too hard, it does move around a lot. But I feel like I've got control of the car. Just back off, and it does sort of straighten itself out. Right, let's see if we can just push a little bit harder through this next turn. We need to push to get a little bit closer to that BMW. Right, let's get nice and tight there. That's much smoother. Onto the curb there. Accelerate down this section, and we need to improve on our lap time as well. But sometimes when I do these racing setups, because I'm chatting away, I do make mistakes. I do apologise for that, but I like to do it this way, and I can give you live you know, reactions and opinions of the cars as it happens. And that was a much better lap there, our fastest lap of the race. And again, just left the braking a little bit late to that turn. Caught the curb, but again managed to save it nicely, slow it down, and we need to really push on this lap. We're on lap 7, so we've only got one more lap after this one to try and overtake this car. But if I don't win the race, I don't win the race. But we will do some review clips of the race. Let's see if we can push. We need to get in his slipstream. And that BMW does have some pace. This is the first time I've realised the difference between the Z4. I haven't come up against the Z4 much when I've used the Ferrari. Now I'm seeing the difference. I mean, the acceleration, I think, off the mark is definitely better in the Ferrari, but I think the Z4, once you get into sort of 3rd and 4th gear, it does seem to have a little bit more in it. Right, onto the curb there, and let's see if we can really push it now. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. We've got one more lap to try and win this race, so let's see if I can do it. Right, let's try and hold it a little bit quicker through this turn. That's not too bad. We've got to push as hard as we can on this lap if we want to try and win the race. Right, again, we've got to slow it down. Let's take as much pace through this turn, right onto the curb. Come on, we can push it. Let's go get a little bit closer and just try our best. If it gives us any chance to get past, I've got to take it. And that's not bad through there. But again, as soon as we get up to 3rd and then 4th gear, the Z4 seems to pull away. It just has a little bit more. We've got to really go through this next corner. We've got to take any chance here. right onto the turn here. Let's get nice and tight. Oh, that was much smoother. Keep on the tarmac, onto the curb, and let's drive it down this section. Is he going to slow down a little bit earlier? No, he's got nicely turned in. We've got to try and get past him. We're right behind him. Can we get up the inside and take a tight line? Oh, this is going to be a fight to the end. Right onto the curb, and we've managed to clear him. Oh, fantastic, and we're going to win the race right at the end. Oh, what a perfect ending that was. Luckily, he gave us too much room in that corner, and I had to take it. Like I said, at the lower gears, this car is much quicker. But, you know, it was a good experience. Right, let's get into the review clips, and then I will show you my setup. So let's get straight to that now, guys. So here we go. Right guys, so here we go with the start of the race. Now the Ferrari is pretty good off the mark. Like I said, it accelerates pretty quick, and I managed to take a couple of places, and I managed to avoid any crashes on that first corner. A few cars got caught up in an incident, but luckily we avoided it and managed to hold our position. But we almost went into the Nissan, but managed to go around the outside of it, and we got past the Nissan as well and carried on in a decent position. Right guys, still on lap 1, I managed to catch up with the car in 4th place and put him under pressure, and managed to take a nice little line in the inside going towards the end of the first lap, and I managed to get into P4. An awesome overtake, and was a really good start to the race. On the end of lap 2, I managed to make another decent overtake coming into that section. That section seemed to be good for me, and I was better on the brakes, managed to get a nice turn in again, and we were in 3rd place. So here we are on lap 7, and I've managed to catch up with the lead of the race in the BMW Z4, and he knew I was behind him, and I was trying to pressurise him in every turn, but it was all about trying to find a way of getting past, and that wasn't going to be easy, and he wasn't going to concede anything, and he was really defensive in the turns as well, but I just had to stay in there. Right, so we're on the final lap, and I was pushing the Ferrari as hard as I could. I knew I had to do something special to get past this BMW, which was being very, very defensive and was having a great race. So in the last moments of the race, I was pushing hard in every single corner, and the only way I could get past him is if the BMW made a mistake. And I'll tell you what, that's what he did, because he gave me too much room in this inside turn, and I managed to take it because I knew that the Ferrari had the better acceleration in the lower gears, and that's what I did. But only just managed to get clear of him and over the finish line. It turned out to be a fantastic race and a decent result. Right guys, let's get straight into the setup that I used on the car in today's video. But first up guys, like I said, I run on the authentic settings for this race in today's video. But that doesn't mean you have to. If you want to use all the assists, that is fine with this setup. Right, I'm just going to run through the setup. Feel free to pause the video. And also guys, let me know if you use this setup, what you think, and if there was anything you needed to adjust, please let me know. That's why I said it would be really good if you join my Facebook group, because it's a good way to communicate, share tips, tricks, and you can also post your own content on there. That is absolutely fine. Right guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoy this setup. Like I said, please let me know if you use it, and I will see you soon for some more setups here on this channel on Project Cars 2. And also don't forget guys, we've got some more racing on this channel, on this game, coming very, very soon on the KPG-GOONER Academy. So watch out for those live events, because it's going to be awesome.